Mountain Bike Mania is brought to you by KHS Bicycles, a full line of bicycles sold in 30 countries. Jensen USA, America's #1 online retailer of bikes and accessories, ODI, the world leader in grip technology, and Angelfire Bike Park, the top-rated bike park in the Southwest. Welcome back to Mountain Bike Mania. I'm your host, Samantha McDonald. We're bringing you the third leg of USA Cycling's Pro GRT series. It's the Chili Challenge at the absolutely stunning Angelfire Bike Park here in Angelfire, New Mexico. Race 2 featured tight competition among the junior expert riders. Just 1/10 of a second separated race winner Bruce Klein and second place finisher Charlie Harrison. Will Bruce put together a winning streak and top the podium today? We'll find out in just a bit. We all know this sport is unpredictable. Anything can and does happen, but one thing we know for sure is there won't be a winning streak in the Pro Men's category today. That's because Mountain Creek winner Aaron Gwynn is currently tearing it up at the World Cup circuit. But no Gwynn does not mean no excitement. Our points leader Bryn Atkinson and Logan Bingley have been putting together consistent race runs this season, and they will both be vying for the top spot today. For more on what we can expect, here are Ross and Mikey Hatterer.
Thanks, Sammy. First, I'd like to talk about the course. It's about twice as long, with race times running about 4 minutes.
Yeah, not only is it twice as long in time, this race is actually one of the fastest races we've seen all season, so the distance is even further than almost every race we've had, resulting in riders actually complaining a lot more about fatigue. Not so much in their legs and sprinting ability, more in their hands and arms.
It's like one of the first dry races of the season.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is the first time we've had almost no moisture going into an event compared to Port Angeles and Mountain Creek, with both had good thunder showers, really slowing these riders down. But today, this weekend and in general, it's been all dry, making the course even rougher, rockier, exposing more, making the holes bigger, and riders really having to hold on tight.
They're really going to want to pace themselves on this track just so they don't ruin their season.
This is one, again, when speeds go up, consequences go higher, and we'll see a lot of that here at Angelfire. This is going to be one of the first years, hopefully I make it out without injury, but aside from that, we'll see how the top riders stack up and see if they can make those bikes work for them.
Nice little drop on the way in. Mikey knows the fast way through. I'll just try to follow him. Nice little step down over there into a chute.
Let's check out the qualifying segment brought to you by KHS Bicycles. The qualifying segment was held yesterday to determine the start list for today's race. The clips give us an idea of the conditions riders will face today.
Yeah! Girl! Yeah.
Yeah, Jackie!
You're 6'7", that's huge. How does that affect your riding? Does it make you better or worse?
I think it helps in certain areas. It helps, like I have a little more suspension, but then when high speed stuff, I have to tuck and stay low.
What's special about you?
I don't know. I'd say I'm always stoked.
Me too.
All right, here's the start list for the juniors. Bruce Klein taking down the top spot, and a few other names we haven't seen up there before. Armin Davis, Tucker Kennedy, Josh Rogers sneaking in the top 10. So here we go. Sean Bell from Lake Forest in Southern California, riding on that 27.5 Santa Cruz. Looking real tidy up here up top in these fast, wide open turns. Is it easy to carry speed here, Mikey? I mean, you raced the course, right?
It is. Angelfire is deceivingly fast. The whole course is really easy to carry speed on, but to go that extra couple miles an hour throughout the whole course is really difficult. It's carrying a good amount of speed though, off the high-speed fire road into the Alpha Rock Garden.
He's a little bit up. That's good.
Pedaling on the exit, it looks like he lost a little speed right over that last set of rocks.
It looks really hard to carry your speed.
Yeah, the holes there are, again, deceivingly big. The bigger wheels on the new downhill bikes are helping carry speed a little bit better than in years past, but...
Do they make it harder to turn, or...?
Personally, I haven't noticed it too much. Actually, I've noticed a bit of an advantage in some of the higher speed flat turns, but they seem to work really well, and there's a reason the industry's gone that way.
Gotcha. Let's check out his time, maybe.
Oh, a new leader by a little over 3/4 of a second.
Just a tiny little bit.
Which is very tight on this long track, about double the length of most of our tracks this year.
Charlie Harrison. He's been doing well all season.
Yep, he's kind of the consistent junior to beat. Had a bit of a get off in Mountain Creek, pushing him back to second place, but
looks like he's fighting for traction through the kind of bumpy bits.
Yeah, he looks riding very calculated and almost like he's holding back a little throughout his run right now. Obviously not going too slow, but this track being so high speed, very much.
It's hard to get back up to speed, right?
Exactly. It's less the speed you enter something with on this track, and a lot more about the exit speed, because the consequence for losing 3 or 4 miles an hour on such a long track can add up to a couple seconds by the time you're done.
Yeah, and you just wear yourself out just trying to get back up to speed if you're not up to speed. Right?
Especially being from where Charlie's from, and most of our California riders not living at altitude, and this course peaking at almost 11,000 feet at the top.
So he's about dead even at the split. Let's see what the time. Oh, to flat.
All the way to the finish though.
Nice.
New fast time.
Put some time in.
4:08.
Right over you put like 2 seconds in the bottom half.
That's not very surprising for Chuck. He's again very calculated rider.
He's in good shape.
One of the Palmer Project riders, Warren Niss,
from right around where you live, right?
Yeah, he's not too far down the road here in Northern California.
Ooh, cutting in the grass.
Very tight inside line there. Almost losing it on those loose baby head rocks, as we call them.
Just sticking out a little bit.
Into the tree section. Holding real good speed, real tight exit. Warren definitely spends a lot of time dirt jumping, and it shows in his riding style.
Nice, tiny bit up, nice.
Just a barely bit up on Charlie. There it is. Again, the dirt jumping and sneaking a pedal in. That's a risky maneuver with all those little sniper rocks.
Because mid-pedal, your rear rim just kind of slams into stuff, right?
As much as you can actually clip the pedal itself. When your feet are level, they're higher above the ground, you have more clearance. But when you start to pedal, that one of those feet drops real close to the ground.
Well, I guess he's just getting used to getting sketchy then.
He made it work for him. Again, super smooth rider. Not even pedaling in this last straight.
Looks pretty relaxed.
Keeping real low on those jumps.
Ooh, another 408.
Let's see where that goes. Just outside Charlie's time, though.
Still solid, though. Wow.
Real good time for Warren. We're not accustomed to seeing him that close up in the ranks, so it's good to see him.
So here's a name we haven't seen on the circuit yet. Quentin Kurtz. He's from Colorado, riding for Mojo Wheels.
Looks like he's on a transition. Looks like the TR500, as opposed most of those guys are on the Santa Cruz program this year.
He qualified second, right?
I believe so. One of our kind of Colorado juniors, definitely used to this type of altitude and terrain.
Yeah. So this is what, like 6 hours from where he's from. So.
Yeah, just out. Most people get from Denver to Angelfire in about 6 hours, so they're closest thing to locals you're gonna get.
Yeah. So he's a little bit back on the split, but he looks pretty comfortable through the rocks.
Different line through there than a lot of our juniors, choosing to go outside. To outside, making the track a little longer, but definitely not having to brake for it and carrying more exit speed. In through this last couple of chutes. See the last turn. Sprinting hard, though. He's putting in a solid effort. Off the center of that lip, sending it pretty far down.
Wow,
New
under
leader.
408.
407.
That's pretty quick, isn't it, Mikey?
That's not a slow time. That's only a second off of our #1 pro men's qualifier, Chris Higgerson, yesterday.
Wow. And Bruce qualified first. Nice. So.
Oh! Losing a foot in the first turn. Bruce is not one to hold back on his race runs.
There he goes, just open.
Pretty much known for holding it wide open all the time.
Sometimes it comes to bite him. In Port Angeles, he smashed into, I think it was 7 trees was the total count.
Yeah. Whoa.
Again?
Bruce
What?
Again. Wow. Bruce is laying
crazy,
caution to the
dude.
wind right now.
But he's still up. Oh.
Just outside, though. Only .16. That is nothing on a 4-minute track.
Well, maybe he'll do better in the second half and stop taking his feet off.
There you go. Inside. Pedaling in the air. Already getting on the gas. Getting back up to speed.
I mean, who's to tell? I mean, maybe it's better than the top half, but either way, he's
Cutting
in good
that
shape.
super tight in that chute into the last few turns.
Manually
Over the
out.
finish jump, scrubbing it as best he can, landing on the gas.
Oh,
Putting a
406.
full second, almost 2 full seconds into Quentin.
That's pretty nuts, Mikey.
That is right on pace with our fastest pro man from yesterday. These juniors getting faster and faster every year.
So here's the final look at the results. Bruce on top, Quentin, Charlie, and Warren.
Sean Bell rounding out the podium. Blake Motley came down real early with a real good time. Held off for a 10th.
So here's the start list for the pros. We got Chris Harrison from Colorado in the top spot. Bryn and
Bryn, points leader. First one we're going to see, though, is a name on the... Oh, this is actually Cole Piccittino.
Yeah. He's out of SoCal. He's been just getting a little better results later in the season now, so definitely one to watch right now.
He's on the same program with Charlie Harrison on the Trek R&D Racing, doing a lot of their testing here in the U.S. before they let their World Cup team.
He's just floating over that stuff, and he's up. Wow.
He's up by almost half a second.
He really is just kind of floating over the rocks. He's a pretty lightweight rider, isn't he?
Yeah, one of our smaller riders, only about 5'6", 5'7", maybe 150, 60 pounds. But he's also riding one of those bigger wheeled downhill bikes that people are testing. So we'll see if even being a smaller rider, those big wheels help him on this really high-speed rough track.
Yeah, so over the rough stuff a little better, but
maybe a little bit tougher to turn with those big gyros spinning on him.
and he just looks fine.
Ooh, scrubbing off the right
in the
side
grass.
of that lift. What? Wow, 4:02.
Oh my God.
Putting a solid 2 seconds into our fastest riders.
Yet so far. And that's pretty nuts, but here we go. Bubba Warren, another one who's been pretty hot on the circuit this year.
Very consistent. I'm pretty sure he's pulled at least a top 10 at every round this year.
Yeah.
So he's definitely in contention for the overall points lead.
I think he changed his helmet. He's all purple now.
One of our flat pedal riders too, and again another small guy. So we'll see how on this really high speed course. Wow,
Almost Cole.
almost a full second up on Cole.
How do you think the flat pedals are doing through all these rocks? Is he just smashing, or?
I think, well, personally, I would think that he's running into things a little bit more to have it to keep his feet stuck to the pedals.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Bubba's a light guy, so he can be real light on the pedals and not bounce around so much.
Put his weight into the bike when he needs to.
Exactly.
Nice little scrub off there.
Oh, inside line on that turn. Haven't seen any riders do that.
The Warrens are getting creative.
Into that finish, Bubba sending it almost
So
to flat
flat.
again.
402. Did he beat
402. No, just outside of Cole Piccittino. Bubba just outside though, about 2/10 off Cole.
Cole? Got a chest protector moving behind him. What have we got here?
This is Mr. Sean Neer, actually recovering from an almost disaster yesterday in qualifying. Snapped his chain right out of the gate, so he's going to be looking for vengeance on this track.
He's still qualified pretty far up there if he's going after Cole and Bubba.
Yeah, he was inside the top 10, I believe, in
Did you see him
qualifying.
pedal there?
Sneaking pedals everywhere.
Jeez.
He's actually, Ross, he's riding one of those new
What?
Yeti trail bikes.
5 seconds?
5 whole seconds
Where
up.
do you, I mean, he looks crazy. Where do you get that?
He's sneaking pedals everywhere. Look at that.
Do you think
That's ridiculous.
inside?
To inside.
I think the trail bike just accelerates, or?
On this track, I would be hard to say. It's such a rough, such a high-speed track. It seems like a trail bike would be a detriment to him, but it's working for him right now, Ross.
Maybe the, wow.
This is just unbelievable. 5 seconds, only a minute and a half in. Whoa!
What's a flat? So, what?
Wow! 3:55.
That is so nuts.
That's over 10 seconds faster than our fastest qualifier yesterday, Ross. That's obscene.
That, my mind is blown. Well, Let's check out what Austin's older brother, Cody Warren, can do.
Cody, one of the longtime vets on the circuit, definitely.
He's raced this track before.
He raced it back in 2007 when it was a World Cup, actually, so he's well accustomed to it.
But to get Sean's 7 seconds ahead of
his little brother, that's amazing. Wow. Oh, and he's still up on Bubba and Cole.
I think that would have been the fastest,
but Sean just putting the hurt on everybody.
Oh my God.
Cody actually a two-time U.S. national champ too, so he knows that he can throw down with the best of them when he has to.
He really likes the rough gravity-oriented tracks, right?
Yeah, one of our
so
super inside line. Saw Bubba sneaking at that line, but I think Cody might have shown him the way.
It's definitely a Warren thing, huh?
Over the finish line jump, where is he? 4:02.88, just outside.
4:01.82.
Did you know the Pro GRT Series also has a Pro Women's category? After all, the boys shouldn't get to have all the fun. Before we show you highlights of the race, let's meet one of the youngest riders on the women's circuit, Samantha Kingshill. When did you know that you could be a pro?
I started watching, professional mountain biking videos when I was about 10, and I decided I wanted to race. So the first race I got into was the Sea Otter Classics, and I did pretty well there for being in Cat 2, and from there I was like, yes, I'd like to race a lot more.
She, for her first race at Sea Otter Classic, she was in the top 10.
What's it like participating in a sport that's male-dominated?
I think it's very fun. I mean, I think it's awesome that ladies are able to do it, and I think it'd be awesomer if more ladies were able to do it. Like, they'd totally get in and be all like, yeah.
Do you feel like you have to earn the respect of the boys out there?
Kinda, yeah.
How are you doing that?
Just going big and being fast and smooth over rocks.
And do you have any trepidation having your daughter compete at such a young age in a risky sport?
You know, she's really talented, and I'm trusting that. But there are some times when I'm just like, oh, please, sweet Jesus in heaven, get her down safely. And, I've seen her take some really gnarly crashes, and waiting for her to come down some really gnarly sections, my heart's pumping.
What goes through your mind right before you're about to race?
Usually everything that I need to remember, like places where I can make up speed, where I can be faster, things that I need to do to get through a rock sections quicker, and anything that I need to do to make sure I don't crash, make sure that it's just a smooth, clean run, and that it's fast.
And you're just 15. What are your goals from here?
I'd like to make it into Worlds and race for America.
Wow. And you're already competing against top women pros like Jill Kintner, who's considerably older than you. What is that like out here?
It's very interesting because Jill Kintner is one of the ladies that I've awed for a while, and it's kind of fun racing against her because then I could be like, I'm coming.
Again, only 15 years old.
Just moved up to the pro ranks this year, but I do definitely remember seeing this young girl out on the race circuit for a couple of years now. So she's becoming a quick study to this downhill racing art.
I've ridden with her. She's pretty crazy. I mean, some of the stuff I wouldn't hit. She's like, oh, I'll just do it, and then I do it and follow, and she's just a joy to watch her progress.
Oh, she's actually up at split number 1 by about half a second.
Wow. That's pretty close.
Carrying good speed here through this. Whoa, sending that little drop here
to the
into
downside,
chute.
though. So.
Yeah, she's definitely riding fearless.
She's really good at jumping. I believe her background is moto, however young she is.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much of a background you can call it when you're only 15.
Whoa!
Sending the finish jump farther than anybody we've seen in her pro men's category. Wow.
So that'll put her in first for now. Let's take a look at our second qualifier, Jackie Harmony. She's been living in Angelfire for a little bit, most summers, right?
Yeah, her and her husband Dante, actually a recent addition to the family. She's now what we would call one fast mother, young little boy. But her and Dante have been on the trail crew and living in Angelfire the past few seasons. Mm-hmm. So she's pretty much the closest thing to a local pro they've got here in the women's category.
So she knows every little bit of this track. I remember actually. Oh wow!
She's
still up at the split.
2 seconds up at split number 1. Looks like some of that local knowledge coming into play.
Mama on a mission.
Coming out through the last few shoots and turns.
Dropping that nose and over the hump.
Yeah, Jackie in contention for the Pro GRT series the last few seasons, but the new addition to the family, I think, took her out for this season.
Yeah,
good to see her on the downhill bike, though.
Bit busy, but let's check out her time.
Sprinting hard across the line. Oh, she's up.
That'll put her in first. Nice.
Just about a second. Losing about a second to Sam in the bottom pattern of this track, though. So Sam may be young, but she shows she's ready for the pro women ranks.
She's pretty good at the jumps and stuff. Well, here's the queen of the GRTs, Jill Kintner.
Yeah, the woman to beat, overall leader. She's 2 for 2, trying to make it a 3-peat here at Angelfire.
She's been doing the best for the Americans in some of the World Cups she's been attending.
Yeah, she's actually landed herself on the box, which for originally a BMX racer, that's no easy task.
What?
Wow, almost 7 seconds up.
That's pretty nuts.
That is one of the fastest times we've seen.
She knows this track really well. You say she does drawings of the courses as she goes down?
Yeah, she so to help do the kind of visualization techniques that a lot of our riders do, she'll actually draw out the course on a piece of paper and draw out sections and things like that.
Like places she has to run. What? That's
wow.
What was that, like 15 seconds?
It's too much for me to do math. I ride bikes, I don't do that.
That's so nuts.
That's obscene.
She is fast. Well,
back to our pro men's race. This looks like, who is this, Ross?
We've got Kieran McKinnon from Santa Cruz. He does a lot for the company, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's kind of the jack of all trades there. Rider, tester, helps the marketing guys.
And he's on the prototype double XL bike.
Yeah, he's also, again, one of the taller riders on the circuit. Wow, so much speed through that section.
Check out his split. That could be like second.
I believe that's our second fastest split, though, behind Sean, who's put a hurt on an entire field right now.
Right. He was telling me the airport lost his prototype bike, and they had to drive up to San Francisco to find it, which they eventually did, as you can see.
Luckily, he has it back. We'd hate to see him on one of the smaller frames. It'd look even more
goofy,
more funny. In through these last few shoots and turns. Kieran almost outrunning our camera guy into the finish.
Yeah, let's
scrubbing across the line.
Off the left side of the middle. 4
Just
flat.
outside of 4 flat. That's our second fastest time so far.
That's quick. I mean, obviously Sean's somewhere else on a different level, but
yeah, Sean must have been finding every little spot to sneak those pedals in on that 6-inch travel trail bike.
All right, Shane Leslie, best American junior next to Lucas Shaw. Last year, he won most of the GRTs, didn't he, with Charlie Harrison?
Yeah, he was on the same team as Charlie last year. Did a lot of training together, a lot of riding together, and then kind of moved up to pro this year on his own. And took him a minute to find his footing, but he's definitely showing now that he's where he needs to be with a really good qualifier.
Oh, whoa. Where was he going, Mikey?
Wow, no regard for safety into that rock section.
Like, there's a tree. Up.
Just did not hit the brakes, used every little bump he could to start turning early.
I held my breath there for a second.
That was ridiculous that he got away with that.
I'm assuming he meant to do that.
I would hope so. If not, he got away with it. Let's just leave it at that.
Because he looked really fast, too.
Definitely didn't slow down, but man, that was a risky line.
Mm-hmm. Let's check it out.
Time to beat 4 minutes flat. 3:59. First one to break 4 minutes since Sean.
Yeah. So it is doable by normal people.
It is possible, but we'll see if the last few riders down can put anything for him. That's almost 4 seconds still.
So out of the gate, who's this, Mikey?
This is Colorado boy Austin Hackett-Klobb. Rides under the Mojo Wheels banner with Matt Thompson and that crew.
Mm-hmm.
Really used to these dry and dusty conditions. Rides a lot of this out in Colorado Springs and Idaho Springs in that.
And this is like pretty much as local as oh, he's a little back.
He's a little off the pace there, just inside the top 10 on those splits.
They've got a lot of lift access parks in Colorado, but the dirt's a little different. Am I wrong?
I think more so much the altitude and just the kind of the flatness that Angelfire is. You really have to generate a lot of speed here in this track, and a lot of the courses in Colorado are very gravity fed, where you don't really need to pedal all that much, and it's really letting off the brakes and letting the bike work.
So hopefully he's in shape. We'll see how he is across the line.
Oh, sending it all the way to flat.
4 flat. I mean, that's
4 flat, just into 4th right now.
that's solid, but we got some crazy people ahead of him.
That's one of the best results he's had at a Pro GRT. We've seen little inklings of him, but good to see him consistently come down.
So is this our points leader, Bryn Atkinson?
Yep, Bryn, again, super consistent all year. Very used to this type of terrain. Maybe not riding Angelfire. I think you said, Ross, that he hasn't been here in almost 10 years.
Yeah, he was here for the 05 World Cup when it was held here, and he came back and noticed the track's a little bit different, but for the most part,
very much the same as then. But
Wow.
I think he's pretty used to this type of terrain, growing up in Australia where he did. Very dry, very loose, very rocky. I think that's the second fastest split we've seen today too, Ross.
yeah, that seems about right. So pedaling in the air off the last couple little jumps, and this is the height. That the bottom half's pretty, like a lot less rocks, more just kind of turns and jumps,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. The bottom of the track is probably, after you get through the rock garden that we've seen, definitely more of holding your speed through
Sideways.
turns and not hitting the brakes.
under
Whoa, into 3rd.
Nice.
59.21, just outside Shane Leslie. So Shane gonna have his best Pro GRT result today.
That is all right. Well, we got one more guy on the hill.
Last rider down, our #1 qualifier.
Chris Higgerson.
Big Rig Higgerson out of Colorado under the Mojo Wheels banner. Definitely our biggest competitor on the circuit.
He's hanging off the back of the bike.
Pushing over 6'7", making every bike on the circuit look like a toy. Oh, he's back a
pretty
little
far
bit at
back.
split 1, but well within reach. We saw Bryn a few seconds back
Make up
and make up some time on the bottom. So
I think he was holding back in the top
Higgerson
half.
inside to inside there. It's also very nerve-wracking being last man down if you're not used to the #1 qualifying position. There's no other riders up there to talk to. It's usually just you and your mechanic and the starter. So
Just getting in your head.
you can definitely be in your own head, and we'll see if that plays into Higgerson's first time #1 qualifier.
See how he goes
Across the line.
That's
Into
quick.
5th.
No, he's
outside of it.
I think
4:01.
I think that's 7th. That's a good time, but wow, he's not even on the box here.
Took 5 seconds off his qualifier, but Sean Neer showing everybody how it's done today.
Man of the day, wow.
Long-time Colorado rider, well-deserved. He's been one of the fastest guys in the hills for a long time. It's good to see him get a finish.
Well, that's it for the pro men then.
This is your Pro Men's Pro GRT podium.
So it's been a while since you've been on the podium at a Pro GRT. What's been the difference for you?
Getting comfortable at speed, man, and yeah, I just felt like I was back to my old self, you know, and just stop thinking and ride.
What's your advice for the young girls out there who are riding with you?
I hope more of them come and have a good time riding bikes, because it's definitely a good time and a nice environment, and yeah, hope more show up.
Well, that's all for this episode of Mountain Bike Mania. Sean Neer pulled up a staggering win for the Pro Men's race, beating his competition by 4 points. Our series leader for the Pro GRT remains Bryn Atkinson, who took home 3rd today. Our next stop is Mount Hood. We'll cover the next race in the Northwest Cup Series. For all our crew and our sponsors, ODI Grips, Jensen USA, KHS Bicycles, and Angelfire Bike Park, I'm Samantha McDonald.
Graham, you okay?
Get up, come on!
Mountain Bike Mania has been brought to you by KHS Bicycles, a full line of bicycles sold in 30 countries. Jensen USA, America's #1 online retailer of bikes and accessories, ODI, the world leader in grip technology, and Angelfire Bike Park, the top-rated bike park in the Southwest.